It's the kind of news that stops you in your tracks. Just when the world thought the political atmosphere in South Africa was settling down, a new and unexpected development has erupted. It's big. It's US Investigations International, and it's serious. 4 separate investigations have reportedly been opened by United States authorities, each linked to allegations involving none other than South African President Cyril Ramaphosa and the African National Congress, known widely as the ANC. These investigations aren't rumors floating on the wind. They come from reliable sources tied closely to the US Department of Justice. And now the world questions are rising is watching. Questions are rising. What are the Americans looking for? What's really going on? Is this about politics, power, or something even deeper? The details are still emerging, but what we do know already paints a picture that's both complex and deeply concerning. To understand how we got here, we need to look back at where this all began. Sir Ramaphosa rose to power during a turbulent period in South African history. After the resignation of Jacob Zuma in 2018, following numerous corruption scandals, many saw Ramaphosa as a symbol of reform and hope. A man who had once been a trade union leader and a respected businessman, he came into office with promises of renewal, economic recovery, and clean. Ramaphosa's promises governance. The ANC, the party that led South Africa out of apartheid under Nelson Mandela, was also in desperate need of restoring its image. Years of mismanagement, internal conflict and corruption allegations had weakened its standing among the people. So Ramaphosa's leadership was supposed to be a turning point, a new chapter. But politics, as we all know, is really that simple. Despite his reformist image, Ramaphosa has faced mounting criticism. Accusations have swirled about hidden financial dealings, mysterious donations, and the inner workings of political funding. One of the most failure scandal controversial episodes was the so-called failure scandal, where a large sum of undeclared foreign currency was reportedly stolen from Ramaphosa's game farm, raising questions about financial transparency and ethics. Though no formal charges came from that incident, it marked a shift in how both South Africans and international observers viewed the president. It suggested that the image of integrity might have cracks. Cracks that could run deep. Now US dockets. With these new developments in the United States, the pressure is escalating. According to anonymous insiders within the Department of Justice, 4 legal dockets have been opened focusing on allegations of corruption, financial misconduct, and potential violations of international law. The involvement of the FBI and US-linked financial systems means that the scope of the investigation goes far beyond South Africa's borders. These are not just domestic matters. These involve international transactions, cross-border financial flows, and possibly breaches of U.S. laws like the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. That particular law allows the U.S. to investigate foreign officials if American institutions, businesses, or financial systems are somehow involved. That's what makes this Foreign Corrupt Practices Act moment so critical. At this time, the exact contents of the dockets remain classified. But sources suggest that the allegations include suspicious campaign contributions, illicit transfers of funds, and misuse of international banking channels. In simple terms, there are suspicions that money moved through systems tied to the United States in ways that could be illegal under both US and international laws. These are serious matters. If proven true, they could lead not just to political fallout, but also criminal consequences. And it could reshape how the world engages with South Africa's leadership. The South African government, for its part, has denied any wrongdoing. In a statement, the presidency said that Ramaphosa is unaware of any legal action being taken by American authorities. Political experts are watching all of this closely. Professor Thean Lovo from the University of the Witwatersrand noted that even the existence of these dockets can damage public trust. People don't need charges to be filed before they begin to doubt their leaders. Just a hint of wrongdoing, especially on an international scale, can be enough to sway public opinion. This is especially true in a country like South Africa where faith in public institutions has been weakened over time. From state capture to power crisis, many South Africans are already frustrated. And this development may feel like yet another blow to those who hoped for change. The involvement of the United States adds a new layer of tension. On one hand, it shows that corruption and misconduct when linked to global systems can no longer be hidden behind borders. On the other hand, it raises concerns about foreign interference and sovereignty. Is the US acting in the interest of justice? Or could there be political motivations at play? That's a question many South Africans will be asking, especially given the long and complicated history between the global South and Western powers. What one country sees as impact on Ramaphosa justice. As we move forward, the next steps are unclear. The investigations are still ongoing and no formal charges have been made. However, that doesn't mean the impact hasn't already begun. Ramaphosa may face increased scrutiny at home, even from within his own party. The ANC, which is preparing for a tough election, may find itself forced to defend its leader at a time when unity is already fragile, and the opposition parties, smelling blood in the water, will likely use this moment to push their narratives harder. They may frame this as proof that the ruling party has implications for international relations lost its moral compass. There are also broader implications for international relations. If charges eventually emerge, how will the South African government respond? Would this create diplomatic tension between Pretoria and Washington? Would it affect trade agreements, diplomatic cooperation, or even financial aid? All of these are possibilities. And in a world where geopolitics is constantly shifting, nothing can be taken for granted. But perhaps the most important question is, what does this mean for the South African people? Citizens deserve leaders who are accountable, transparent, and guided by what does this mean for South Africa integrity. They deserve systems that work, laws that are enforced, and a future that feels secure. Allegations like these, whether they lead to convictions or not, remind us of the need for strong institutions, ones that can withstand pressure, investigate wrongdoing, and deliver justice without fear or favor. And in that sense, both countries, South Africa and the United States, are now being tested. For now, all we can do is wait. Wait for more information, wait for facts, and wait to see how this story conclusion unfolds. But one thing is certain, this is not the end. It is just the beginning of what could become one of the most significant political investigations in recent years involving a foreign head of state and the US justice system. If you found this video informative, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can stay updated with future developments. We'll be following this story very closely as new details emerge. Also, leave a comment below. What do you think about the US opening these investigations? Is it justice, interference, or something else entirely? Let us know your thoughts. And don't forget to like the video if you want more deep dives like this one. Thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next one.